Stocks and commodity prices falling in tandem today. Also, the energy sector particularly subject to the sell-off. Deborah Kostroun has the latest from the New York Stock Exchange. Deborah.
Thanks a lot, Pimm. And big losses for our major averages. The two major headline concerns coming out of today's session, it was inflation in commodities. And also the dollar was higher as we saw commodities taking a tumble. Gasoline futures leading the way down with a more than 7% drop. That was our biggest drop in 2 years and actually dropping the limit. Crude oil tumbling almost 5%, closing out $98.21 a barrel. And this was after we got a government report showing increases in U.S. supplies while fuel demand slipped. And here's the other thing that we saw. We're kind of seeing this unwinding in commodities. We've been seeing selling in commodity-related stocks, particularly the energy stocks. And we are seeing a rotation and a little bit more buying in some of the defensive type names. So what we did see, while most of the market was down, you did see stocks like Clorox, Kraft, and also Procter & Gamble actually performing quite well today. Pimm?
Now, Deborah, you know, those concerns about, the energy complex as well as commodities, tell us a little bit more about corporate profits, because they are, at least from Cisco's report, not so bad.
You know, not so bad from Cisco, and that was one of the things that we've been waiting to hear from John Chambers. But in addition to that, we also got some pretty good news from Macy's. They actually increased their dividend as well as reporting those earnings. And the other thing that we saw, Intel coming out and saying that they also increased their dividend. So some good news there. And traders saying that investors also really need to get ready for an environment of higher global interest rates. And of course, this happens every time you have an economic recovery, but these inflation concerns also another reason that stocks were dropping today. We heard that from China today. They raised expectations about higher interest rates because findings showing that inflation is spreading beyond food. Consumer prices there are not being contained. We also heard about Germany's inflation rate jumping more than expected. Also, England, their inflation rate is uncomfortably high, and that also means that higher interest rates could be on the horizon. So certainly interest rates, another big story today. Pimm, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much. Deborah Kostroun reporting from the New York Stock Exchange.